dating apps should be used like in the same way that fast food is. I don't think you should say never ever eat fast food. People have these like black and white views towards the dating apps. I think they're great in moderation, and you need to be controlling the way you use them. You can't just be on it scrolling mindlessly. There's a time and a place for dating apps, and people should use them like when they make sense, when they can't be out there socializing, when they're really busy with work, but it shouldn't be the only tool in their tool shed.
People are afraid to say like, I'm just tired of them. People look at dating as this like on-off switch. It's just like a part of your life. Hang out with your friends who are in relationships once a month. Join a fitness class. Go out to eat once a week without your phone. The app, we have to realize, is a crutch. We have to acknowledge who these apps were created for and by, because they're not for you. Most people listening are pretty social people. You can do it.
The #1 health and wellness podcast.
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
The one, the only Jay Shetty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to On Purpose, the place you come to become happier, healthier, and more healed. I'm so excited because today I get to invite into the studio two people that I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the last few years. I've been on their show like 3 times now, and I always have the best time with them. I felt like we hit it off immediately, and it's got more fun every time. So it is an honor to have them on the On Purpose studio. I'm talking about Jared Freid and Jordana Abraham, the hosts of the hit dating and relationship podcast, You Up. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you go and do that. They break down the confusing, chaotic, and hilarious world of modern dating, which I know all of you need a lot of help with. Jared is a stand-up comedian and writer. His work has been featured on Netflix and Comedy Central. And Jordana is the co-founder of Betches, a digital media brand with a reach of over 40 million across platforms and a leading voice on dating, self-development, and modern relationships. Please welcome to On Purpose, Jordana and Jared.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Great to have you guys.
We're so excited.
What an intro. I mean, you do everything right. You know, like I'm just sitting here listening to your intro. I'm like, man, he's nailing it.
Got it down.
Just has it down. Like even when you introduce the podcast, like this is the podcast for, you tell people what they're listening to. I'm like, I feel like I'm in like a class.
It's a real professional.
Yeah, this is a pro. This
Yes.
is a pro.
We are on a lot of podcasts. This is a professional.
This is a pro. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
You guys are pros. The tables have turned today, though. So
Right.
I get to quiz you and make Jared feel uncomfortable.
Right. That
Like
was
you
always
did.
that's always my goal when you come on our show.
yes.
I'm like, how can I get Jay
You mess
Shetty
with him a little bit.
a little bit like,
And I love it.
and you nail it. It's just
Yeah.
always a surprise. I mean,
He always knows how to take your annoying questions and turn them into and own them.
to own them and then you turn them. I've said this to many people. I don't want to take over your show.
You are doing that.
Right,
right
I'm
now.
doing that right now, and your audience is like, I hate this guy. He won't shut up. Let Jay do his thing. But I have to say, what a great guy you are. Because I did this bit when you came on the show where I was like, Jay, can you give pep talks to people who are going through it? And then I read this whole sad monologue about my life, and it wasn't me saying it was me. And I was joking, but like, sometimes sad stories are meant to be funny. And you took it and you were like, you are enough. And then I texted you later that day. You texted me first. Hey man, had a great time. And just remember, you are enough. It's the sweetest text I have ever gotten in my entire. I want to make sure it's on camera on podcast because I can't.
He's like this. They're gonna cut this.
Right. Get rid of that sappy shit. Let's talk about dating. Yeah, I just have to say, because I sometimes you listen to people and you go, what are they like off camera? That's like is truly the nicest text I've ever gotten. Yeah.
I'm going to send more of them now.
Please. It improved my whole day. Yeah. Or month, whatever. I'm still talking about it.
The feeling's mutual. You guys have been so kind to have me on 3 times. We have the best time ever. And I love the side of me you bring out. I don't always get to show that. I don't always get to show that fun, playful, energetic side on my platform. So that's a part of me that I get to share with both of you. And so you give me an opportunity to do that. But let's dive in.
You always are game. That's the thing. And we appreciate that so much because we talk about dating and relationships, which is like a very personal thing, so.
And that's what we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because my audience, community, I've got groups of friends. I've got so many people who've written in. We've scoured the world to prepare for this podcast. But the first thing I wanted to start off with is dating. You guys know everything about it. You're doing it, Jared. Jordana, you're not doing it anymore, but it's a part of your life.
Yeah.
What's your hot take on current dating? Like, what's the take? What's the viewpoint that you think is surprising you right now that's different right now on dating?
I think the negativity that's out there right now, while it's founded, like you can always be negative about dating and you'll find a million people that will help you. Like you'll find a million people that will back you up and tell you how right you are for being negative about it. But it's the least helpful thing for your dating life. And it's not the thing that's going to get you on the first date. It's not the thing that's going to make you a better dater. It's the only thing that you can find other people to cheer you on for that actually makes your dating life worse.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that.
So like
100% agree.
Because I do these dating pep talks all the time. And it's a joke. It's pointing out why, like, that I heard a relationship and I heard this couple get in a fight. And then I talk about how lucky you are to be single. And I point that out, and you see so many people that are just like, it's almost like crazy to me that they never thought of it.
Yeah.
That like being single is a good thing. You're hopeful. You're looking to make your life better, you know?
Yeah.
And I think all you hear about is maybe that you're doing it wrong or do this or do that. And it's like, whatever you're doing is fine. You're you. It's going to work out. But I think the negativity that we see online, like that's easy to do because it's like biting a mosquito bite. It feels pretty good, but it's not really helping you.
That's a great perspective. I was just talking to one of my producers. She's in a long distance relationship. And she was saying every night she goes home right now, she turns on her favorite show and she just binge watches it. And all of our reaction was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I sit alone on the couch. And she was like, but actually, this is the last time I'm ever going to get to do this. So I'm loving it. Like that mindset
Well, that perspective,
of actually, oh, wow, like this is the last time ever. It's just going to be me on my couch, binge watching whichever show I want and looking at it positively rather than the negative of that. And I think you're so right. And I want to dive into that, but I want to hear Jordana's first.
Yeah, I think going off of that, I think, we talk about like, no one wants to hear diet and exercise if for like, fitness or losing weight. But like, I think that I totally agree with Jared. I think the diet and exercise of like dating is really like going into anything you're doing in the dating space with a good attitude and then having a full life outside of dating. So it's not the only thing that you're focused on. Because I do think attitude is like 70% of it. Like, I think it's such an underrated part. I think so many people think if I just keep going on more dates, more is more, and I'm kind of there, but I don't want to be there. I'm in a negative mindset. I'm on the apps still. I'm so annoyed. I'm still on the apps. You become... You go on the dates and you think you're actually trying, but you're bringing not like a fun, exciting version of yourself that someone would want to date, someone with a full life, someone who just thinks someone would add to their already great life. And you're kind of expecting someone to fill in what's missing. And I think that's really what holds people back, and they don't even realize they're doing it.
And when you're holding back, like more on that, just like when you're holding back and you're being negative, like you're not being your full self. So you're not even bringing people into your world. Like you want, and like we're not this like woo woo podcast.
Yeah, I know.
We're not there telling like, there's nothing more annoying than like cheer up from your married friend. Oh, you'll find it when you're not looking. It's like, f off.
Yeah.
Like that's not advice. That's not helpful. But it's like the minute you give in to like, I got this great life. I'm looking for someone to make it better. I'm not looking for just anyone. Then you start to have taste, and that's something where people are so afraid to even like admit. They go, I'm confused. That's what you hear from people dating. I'm confused. No, you're turned off. Change the wording. Now it's powerful. Now you have taste. Now you have ownership over like, oh, I do like and dislike things. I am looking for certain things in a partner. Like, living your full life. Like when you say, these are the things I do, you're willing to have someone go, I don't do that. And you can go, good, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So let's apply that to what everyone's saying right now, where there's this mass fatigue around dating apps. You both hear it more than anyone.
Of course.
Where every other person you speak to is just like, I'm sick of the dating apps. I'm tired of the dating apps. I hear it all the time as well. How do you then apply that to the fatigue around dating apps? So when people are saying to you, hey, I'm exhausted, you're not saying cheer up. What are you saying? Yeah. What are you saying?
I mean, I think dating apps should be used like in the same way that fast food is. Like,
oh, interesting. Tell me about
I don't think you should say never ever eat fast food. It's going to ruin your life. And I think people have these like black and white views towards the dating app. I think they're great in moderation, and you need to be controlling the way you use them, just like anything else on the internet, just like Instagram or TikTok. Like you can't just be on it scrolling mindlessly. You can't just be on it swiping mindlessly. I think there's a time and a place for dating apps, and people should use them like when they make sense, when they can't be out there socializing, when they're really busy with work, but it shouldn't be the only tool in their tool shed, because just like with fast food, if you eat it all the time, you're going to feel sick. If you eat it on a road trip every now and then, that's fine. You're like, and indulge and have a great time, but like, don't make that make that your entire lifestyle.
Yeah. And we have to like acknowledge that. Like, I think people are afraid to say like, I'm just tired of them. Like you hear that, but like, if you went to McDonald's every day, if you went to fast food every day and someone was like, yeah, I've eaten, fast food every day for the last week, I'm tired of it. You would go, yeah, you should take some time off of that.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't look at that person and go, well, you're not trying. If you stop going for fast food.
Yeah.
Like people look at dating as like on-off switch. It's just like a part of your life. And I don't know, we like right now we've said on the podcast, we're doing a summer challenge. Okay. Here's the summer challenge. Delete the apps.
You're doing it too.
I'm doing it too. I'm single.
You're deleting all the apps.
I've deleted all the apps. Okay. This is for June, July, August.
And how many apps is that for you?
17? No, I was on one app at the time, deleted it. Okay. June, July, August. That's the promise. Okay.
And then what's your plan?
The plan is hang out with your friends who are in relationships once a month.
Okay.
Make one plan a month with like Jordana and her husband, my brother and his wife. Make a plan with someone who's married or in a relationship. Then join a fitness class. Do something different. Do a different fitness class, whatever it is. Go out to eat once a week, every Wednesday without your phone.
On your own.
Put on your own. Put in your pocket. Put your phone in your pocket. Look up. Because we're kind of like addicted to these things. Like the app, we have to realize is a crutch. It was made by male nerds to try and be social. If you think about it, the app, you never get dumped on an app. You never get broken up with. You never hear a no. It's swipe left. That's a no from you. Swipe right. You either get a match right away or you get nothing. And when you get nothing, what does your brain go? Guess they haven't seen me yet. That was invented by someone who didn't want to go up to someone in public and experience public failure.
Oh, that's good.
So we have to acknowledge who these apps were created for and by, because they're not for you. Most people listening are pretty social people. You can do it. But sometimes we need to like create these little games like we're doing with this like challenge to get yourself out there, because the phone is so addictive. So like I go to dinner on a Wednesday, I sit at the bar and I look up. That's it. I'm not promising you a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
How's that been going, by the way? That's interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I have conversations. I have stories. I have experiences. Hanging out with your married friends, that's the answer. Because, and I speak from the guy perspective on the podcast, like, of course, but I'm like, I speak for myself. We talked about not saying this anymore, but we're not experts, okay?
Yeah.
No one's a dating expert. I'm just an expert in my own feelings and my own experiences. So when I talk on the show, like I was thinking of like, we have so many women who their response to like hang out with their married friends is like, they don't know anybody. My friends' husbands, they don't know any of their friends. They never have a guy for me. It's like, first of all, don't hang out with your married friends to get something from it. Hang out with your married friends to hang with them and have a good time and be you. Okay. And if you do that, what you want from that experience is for the husband to go, oh, yeah, Jessica's pretty cool. That's all you want.
Yeah.
Why does Coca-Cola still have ads? So you think of Coca-Cola the first drink when you need a soda.
That's such a good point.
Same thing. You want to make yourself Coca-Colas to your married friends, because that husband does know people.
Yeah.
He is talking.
Yeah.
But we don't care about dating and relationships. That's why men don't listen to our podcast. Like
right now you're RC Cola, right?
Right. They're going, oh, I guess I haven't thought of them lately. But if you make yourself the first thought in their brain when cool chick comes up, because it's gonna happen. But that's the thing. So when I hang out with like my brother and his wife, and I'm doing that with his wife, but my brother's my brother. But like, if I go hang out with Jordana and her husband, like he's gonna, he comes across, I'm the first thought on it. Well, we'll see. But I think
first person he's thinking about every day.
And these are like the things that don't go viral on the internet. You know
That's
that.
a great point.
Negativity goes viral. Salacious stories go viral. Not, hey, go out with your married friends.
Well, it's
We're
like
gonna make it go
it's
right.
like loose ties, right?
Right, loose ties. Who do we
yes.
get that from?
Meg something. Sorry, we got her last name.
Right, but we've our podcast. We've just collected all these experiences that we hear the the voices of so many people and how they're going through it. And I'm not doubting that.
Yeah.
It's hard, but that's also the fatigue element.
Yeah.
Dating apps just get you more, not better, more. So
Right.
it's more intros, which are good, more breakups, more disappointment, more conversations. If you had more conversations a day, you're going to find more annoying people a day. So of course you're going to have more stories that are negative.
Yeah.
So the fatigue is really, the numbers of it all.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact math, but Tim Ferriss had broken it down. He was like, for every 100 people, there's like 5 narcissists, 1 psychopath. And so when you have like 1 million followers, you're going to have, the same percentage of narcissists, psychopaths. And it's the same on a dating app.
Like I think I use Sweet and Low in my coffee. It's like the strongest sweetener. And everyone's going to tell me that I'm going to have a heart attack and I'm going to die. I'm okay with that. for a sweeter coffee, I'm okay. But dating apps are like Sweet and Low. Like it's really gonna hit you. Going to a bar and trying to meet someone new is like putting sugar in your drink. It's not gonna. You're only gonna you're gonna need a lot more sugar.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a better quality drink. And if you said this, it's like, no, you don't need dating app in the summer.
No,
right?
You don't need it in the summer.
Yeah. Right.
You are out in the summer. You're taking vacations in the summer. You're hanging with friends in the summer.
Yeah. Hence, you're doing the challenge now.
That's why I'm doing the challenge. I mean,
what's the complete challenge? Lay it out again so that everyone else can do it.
The summer dating challenge is delete the apps. Just get off them. We'll come back in September.
Yeah.
Yes. Doesn't have to be forever.
No, doesn't have to be forever.
Saying you can never eat McDonald's.
Just the end of the season.
Yes.
Just, you got to wait for the next season.
Wait for the next season, and see how it goes. We've tried the apps. You hate them.
Yeah.
So let's try something new. Go to dinner once a week by yourself, phone in pocket. Yep. Don't take out your phone. Make it a challenge to yourself. Go to a new fitness class, just because that gets you out and active and doing something new. Hang out with your married friend and their husband, married friend and their wife once a month. Make a plan. It doesn't have to be a vacation. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just hang out with them and have a good time. And I do think the feedback I'm going to give is like, if you come to me and go, well, I didn't work, I think you've looked at it the wrong way. And we're on a wellness podcast. We can think of the intrinsic value of hanging out with your friends. I hope the listenership can understand that.
For sure.
Because with dating, some people go, well, where's my boyfriend? And I go, you don't sound like someone I would ever want to date.
Right. Well, then again, at the end of the challenge, you go back on the apps and you're a more invigorated, more energized version of yourself who's not
it's
saying
the fast food example, which I love.
Who's not saying, hey, as their opening line, because you're more, you're putting more energy into the interactions that you are having.
Yeah, I do that like once a week. Like once every 2 weeks, I have mentally been so disciplined and focused on working out, eating right, all the rest of it, that I need a day where I don't care. And so usually Saturday night is that day. I have no idea how this place, I don't want to get them sued, but I don't know. I have no idea how this place exists. There's this place in LA called Mr. Charlie's. It is vegan McDonald's.
Okay.
If you go outside, it looks like McDonald's. They have an upside down frown. They have a smiley face. Like,
that's so funny.
From the outside, it's yellow and red. Like, it literally looks like McDonald's. I, as someone who grew up going to McDonald's, but now I'm vegan, I don't eat meat, have been searching for vegan McDonald's my whole life. I've now found it. And the fries taste the same, the chicken nuggets taste the same, the mayo tastes the same, the lettuce tastes the same. So Saturday, usually once every 2 weeks, I will eat chicken nuggets, fries, burger, whatever it is. But it's that feeling of like, come Monday morning, I'm reinvigorated to work out again.
Exactly,
To have my discipline again. Because I've allowed my brain this space to go there.
Yes, and you probably enjoy it so much more than if you had it every day.
Yeah,
you wouldn't feel great.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
One thing I've been getting a lot though, and this kind of comes from the point that Jared was talking about. Right now, I have so many single female friends that I think are amazing.
Yes.
That I'd love to introduce to good men. And now it's hitting me right now that I've not thought of Jared before. So now I need to now I need to change that up. And Jared, I've got but I'm like, you weren't friend of mine. You weren't Coca-Cola for me. You didn't come hang out with your married friend.
I've messed up. Yeah.
But I feel like I have at least, let me think. I have at least 3 to 5 female friends.
Yes.
Who I think are awesome, like genuinely think are awesome. They're the, oh yeah, she's really cool.
Right.
Like they're smart, they're thoughtful, they're beautiful, all the rest of it. And I actually struggle to think of single men I know. And that's not, I'm not saying that they're not good men out there. I'm saying I don't know many single men. As a married man, I think most of my friends are married or in long-term committed relationships. And they're just struggling out there as well. What are you seeing from a woman's perspective? Because to a lot of them, what they're experiencing is we're strong, confident, ambitious women. And a lot of men are intimidated by that.
Yes. I think this is a conversation where I'm seeing all over the place now. I think it's like it feels like a very hot topic now to kind of look at the available single women. I totally agree with you. I know so many amazing single women. I really don't know that many. I only know one amazing single guy. No, I really don't know that many otherwise. And I do think part of it is women are much more likely to want to date men who have the same education level as them or higher, or make the same amount of money of them as higher. And I think men are not necessarily looking for that. So I think there's a bigger pool for men of women that they'll be interested in. So I do think women, I don't like the term dating up or dating, but I think like when you just look at objective things like education or money, a lot of women don't want to date people who are less educated or have less money than them.
To add on to this, I'm sorry to interrupt. The men go by one thing. Am I attractive?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the checklist.
Right. Well, that allows...
That means that could be, that's infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What you're talking about is a checklist that women do. Are they safe? Are they educated? Do they have the ability to are they a hard worker? Are they good dad? These are all things that they're thinking about even on the apps.
And there's fewer, I think, men who meet that criteria. For women who are maybe, I don't want to say more selective, but are just looking at things in a different way. And I think as opposed to how things were 20 or 50 years ago, more women are college educated than men. Women are making more money than they ever have before. And so I think the pool, especially as you get older, of men who are at your level or higher, if that's what you're looking for in terms of those things, is just smaller. So I think it just becomes like a numbers game. And I don't know if the solution is for people to be more open-minded, or if the solution is, you know what I mean? Or because I think there's still a little bit of a double standard around a man who makes less money than his wife, or a man has less education than his wife. So I think that, I would hope that as the times change, people are a little bit more open-minded in both directions.
Yeah.
And I think also we do this all the time. We've talked about this. Where are the single men? And you just said it, I've said this a million times. I don't know. Even as a single man, I
have loads of single guy friends.
Right. I don't even know where they would be. I actually, it's become kind of a joke on the show of where are these guys? Because if there's all these women, but also this dating and relationships is a topic for women. They get together to talk about this. This is something that men just don't generally get together and talk about. So it might not be as, in the atmosphere for me,
to that level, right? I think dating and relationships seems more like a priority for a lot of women. Just societally, they've been told that that's something they should be thinking about from, 21 years old is what their future is and who their husband's going to be and what they're getting. I don't think men are given that pressure. If a man goes home for the holidays, he's asked about his job. He's asked about what's going on at work. He's not necessarily most of the time being asked about who he's dating. I think that's a question that women are getting a lot more, and that they're much more invested in finding a partner than a lot of men are around, at least men in a similar age group.
I hate when someone's trying to game the app. So if someone matches with me and they go, let's skip the small talk and go on a date, I don't want to date that person.
We think being attractive means being attractive to everyone.
Right.
We only feel hot if everyone thinks we're hot. And the reality is not everyone's going to find you attractive.
Sometimes you just don't come at things the same way. And that's really the source of most conflict in relationships, is just having a totally different framework for how you see the world or how you would see a specific instance. And a lot of the times men and women are thinking about things really differently.
One thing I've been reflecting on lately is how even the smallest choices can create a big impact over time. Whether it's choosing to spend a quiet night in to recharge, or making a decision that brings you closer to a long-term goal. Those moments of intention really matter. And when it comes to the choices we make with our money, that same mindset applies. I've learned that saving for the things that truly matter, like your first home or a reliable car, starts with small, thoughtful decisions. That's why I appreciate what State Farm is doing with their personal price plan. It gives you the power to personalize your plan and create an affordable price that works for your life. You can bundle your home and auto insurance in a way that supports your journey and your goals. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state. So wait, Jared, you're saying you don't have lots of single guy friends?
No, that not at all.
Wow.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not rolling with a group. Like, when you hear a woman get broken up with, like, the first thing that like a lot of their friends do, they're like, I know these other single women. Like, they'll try and like fix them up with single women to go out with.
Yeah.
They're like their new Miranda, Carrie, Samantha crew. I've never even heard of that for a guy. Like, oh, you got to meet my other guy friend. And even you were like, hey, because I moved to Delray Beach. I'm in Florida. And Jordana was like, oh, my friends live down there. Do you want to like hang out with them?
Want a new friend.
Right. Do you
You're
want
like,
a new
no.
friend? I was like, no, I don't want a friend. I want to go be lonely at a coffee shop and look at the sun. I don't want and it's weird because that's my initial reaction.
Where
of
are
course
all
I want friends,
Where
but
are all the friendless men
Right.
out there?
Yeah.
but I have friends, but I swear I got friends. I sound very defensive. I don't know. Like, I've thought about this. Like, it is the one thing where I'm like, the numbers aren't this off.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I even like my college friends, mostly married, a couple divorces in there. High school friends, I got a lot of those still, mostly married.
Yeah.
But I don't really, I'm 40, I'm single, and we just don't hear from, I know I'm not alone. I'm not
I was talking to a couple of guys I know who are probably, late 30s, early 40s as well.
Mhm.
And they were single, and I sent them a couple of pictures of certain girls that I know that are friends of mine that are looking and, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, immediately, it was the point that you said, immediately he was like, nah, she's not,
not for me.
not for me. And it was an
Right.
attraction thing. But it was so like instant.
Right. Whereas a woman will say, like, tell me more about him.
Totally.
Right. Yeah.
And it was also like, I wouldn't necessarily say that he was out of her league. He just felt he had more choice.
Listen, let me. I'll go back
That's
at
a-
that.
I wanna
that's
hear
a
your
good,
thought. Let's talk
thing
about
to
it.
unpack. Yeah.
Right, because I don't think that's why men are saying I have all these choices. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's something that's easy to like put on single men to like hate on them.
No, so I'm asking.
I would say that, I've said this on the show many, like, guys, there's a pro and con. There's life is gravity, right? The thing is, a guy will not go out with you unless he's attracted to you.
Mhm.
That's just no other questions. Just like your friend.
Is it that black and white?
It's that black and white.
I'm saying attracted or not, or is it like
I'm a
I don't know.
no. It is.
You know?
Men are like bees.
Yeah, I can relate to
that.
We see the outline of a woman. We go, yeah, like the idea of like, will it matter if I wear, these types of socks? No, men don't even notice. We just see I'm attracted to that thing. And so like when a guy says he's like not attracted, not going, that's a good thing, because you're not on all women can understand that if you're on a date with a guy, if he left the house, one thing, he's attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing too. If you think of it that way, you go, I got one thing out of the way. If I'm on a date with a girl, I don't know why she's there. I don't know if she was forced. She thought she should. If she didn't go, she's not trying.
That's a great way of looking at
Right?
it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could get married to a woman, then on our wedding day, she's like, and at first I didn't think he was anything. I
Isn't
wasn't
that
even.
nice? You can get a foot in the door.
Right. Well, it's nice and it's bad. Like, I don't want to hear that my wife at first was like, oh. But that happens, look at all the Our Story page for all these women getting married. It's, well, at first I wasn't into him. And then he came over to me and he touched me with his clammy hands. And I was like, oh, I guess maybe I'll go on a date. Like, it's all this like horrific tale about how this guy like magooed his way into this woman. And it's like, that's nice for her. That's a fun Marvel, story to tell, like your beginning. But like,
Well, I think women are also more like, I can work with this.
right.
Even if someone is not, I think women are more open to dating men who aren't exactly the perfect way that they want them to be as soon as they meet them.
Yeah, they're like, I can change what they
Right.
wear, and I can.
Well, yeah, they can work with this, or they cannot. And I don't think men are thinking that. And in some ways that makes men more romantic. They're like, if I don't like you just as you are, I'm not going to commit to you. And women are like, if I like the bones,
Yeah.
Right.
I can work with them.
Well, it's that age-old idea of men don't want women to change,
Right.
but they will. And women want men to change, but they won't.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's that balance of like,
Right. Men are just, I mean, like we always hear about like the Disney princess or like how the Disney movies convince women they're going to find a Prince Charming.
Mhm.
And that is very true.
Mhm.
There's a male version of that, you know, where men have been told in every coming of age movie that this woman is just going to show up and she's into video games and she's cool and she gets it. Every coming of age movie is some chick who's like giving guys crap and like she's like this dream version, and you're kind of told, and this guy falls in love. So you're kind of told that like someone's going to come along there, all of a sudden you're going to get it.
yeah.
And you're going to want this monogamous lifestyle.
Mm.
And, you know, I don't think either is fair.
Yeah.
You know, but the looks thing, it's everyone has a type. Everyone's into something. There's a butt for every seat. I mean, I always say this sounds gross, but like everyone's someone's foot. Like there's men out there masturbating to feet, you know, and there's so many men masturbating to feet that there's a hyperlink on the porn sites that take you directly to feet. So,
but that's
you
why I don't
are
think,
someone's foot.
Well, that's
so
why I don't.
ugly is not even like hot or attractive is not even a thing.
Right, but I'm saying that I don't think that it's not like, I don't think the key to doing well in dating is being hot.
Mm.
I think it is really about your attitude and like, again, how happy you are. I think a happy person and like there's gonna, no matter what you look like, there's gonna be someone who's attracted to you. But I think if someone could be attracted to you physically and you could go on the date and you bring a bad attitude and you seem unhappy with your life and you seem unhappy and you seem like you're burnt out just from being there and your feeling is like, he's not even gonna text me again.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think that is self-sabotaging.
But you feel that. Like listen, Jordana took my disgusting speech and made it sound a lot better. It is, you feel that on a date.
Yeah.
I go out and I've been on dates with women who are like the I've had it woman. Like, and then you got to like turn into a clown. You got to be like, no, got your ear, like got your nose. Like you have to like try and make them cheer them up a little bit to like go, hey, we're going to be on a date that's not going to be disgusting and horrible.
Yeah.
You know, so you can feel when someone's like, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get
And
out
even
of.
if you feel you have, the point is to have the attitude that you're talking about.
Right.
Even
and,
if you have been
and
in
you
the
can't
worst.
tell someone to do that. Like we can talk about it for days, but like you got to figure that out.
Well, I think the challenge is going back to the part about being attractive. We think being attractive means being attractive to everyone.
Right.
Right. We only feel hot if everyone thinks we're hot. And the reality is no one feels that way because not everyone's going to find you attractive, no matter wherever you are on the spectrum of it or however you feel about it. It's the fact that if someone can go out there, be confident, put the best version of themselves out there, you're giving the person who actually finds you attractive the chance to do that. We've all met people who are attractive that turned us off with their attitude.
Totally.
Like, that's like massive.
I mean,
and I think we've met people that we're like maybe borderline attracted to, but seem so happy and so confident and so happy to be there. That it makes them more attractive. I think that there's really like, you can't really quantify that, but it definitely, I'm sure it could sway you too. Like someone who you're.
Attitude, because attitude is everything. I mean, like you get there and you're like, oh my God, again, to go back to like the coming of age movie, the chick who gets it, you know, you go, oh my God, and she's cool and is fun and is like, you know, you go, oh my God, everything's here. As opposed to being on a date where it's like, okay, you know, show me you're not a dick.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I've seen this before. You know, like I'm not going to be the one that, because what happens is if someone's miserable on a date, you're like, if I do make this person happier, now I've made promises to them. You know, now I've, you know, love bomb them or like, and not even, I'm not saying you do that to cheer them up, but you go, now you've like put on a performance myself. Like I'm performing.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting to be the real me here because I was just spending the whole time trying to get this person to be happy. And now I've faked it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just gonna say, I think that also that attitude thing also helps you once you're in a relationship. I think everyone thinks like, okay, once I like lock it down, then it's over. But relationships are their own level of work. And I think the best relationship advice I've ever seen is that if you look for what's missing from your partner, if you look for what they're not doing, what they could be doing more of, that's like going to be the reality that you're living in. If you're looking at what they're doing well, what they do better than everyone else, like you're going to feel really lucky and you're going to feel really happy. So
Yeah,
I think
great
attitude
advice.
just brings you, not even when you're single, but once you're like in the relationship, once you're like working through that, once you're changing into a relationship that's a long-term marriage or just a long-term relationship, I think that's the attitude is something you really need to keep working on and always be trying to be in a place of looking for what's working and looking for what's good, whether it's your own life or your partner.
Yeah, I think this alpha male, high value woman conversation on TikTok, Instagram, podcast has put this pressure for women to think you've got to look like a model.
Right.
You've got to look great in these clothes, without clothes, whatever, right? There's that pressure for women. And the pressure on men is you better be earning multiple six figures. You better drive an amazing car. You better have a great future. And everyone's looking at both of those things going, I can't live up to either of them.
Right.
Right.
Do you see that? Or
Well, the beauty of being a man is that I don't think and this is where I feel lucky, is that when it comes to dating, maybe I'm not making that money, but I don't think I have to like do the right thing by other men. Like I never feel judged by other men for how I date.
Mm.
And I think when we hear from women that are dating, they're always wondering, am I doing it right? Is this the right text? Is this the right way to go? And it's almost like, who are you asking? Who's to say? And I think when it comes to those conversations of like, you know, who we answer to, like, I don't feel the pressure with relationships. You know, I can feel it from the other side of like, hey, what should I wear for a first date? You know, like when we get that question, like they're asking us as if we know what we're talking. You know, like, and it's like, what should we wear for the date? And
what do you say?
Whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident. And that's, again, to what Jordana said, the diet and exercise of answers. Like, no one wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
but you have women that write in about this, and you're like, that comes from a place of like, please tell me I'm doing this right.
Right. People want rules. I
Right.
think people want like the secret sauce, the formula. And really it's about you and what works for you. And that's again like a less flashy answer, but that's the truth. There's no one way that everyone should act. There's no one kind of person that everyone should be interested in. It's like about what makes you the best version of yourself, and everyone is a different person.
Every time I hear someone say the phrase high value, I'm like, that person is screwed.
Awful. Yeah.
There's awful and screwed. They're thinking of the wrong thing.
They're thinking of the internet,
Right.
I think. And that's the issue, I think, with modern dating, and it's why it's so hard to sort of like appreciate the things about your partner that you really love, because you're scrolling all the time and you're seeing someone else's partner. I think of the Pookie and Jet thing, like someone else's partner surprised them with this bag, or someone else's partner is taking them on these crazy dates. And you look at your partner and you're like, where's my crazy date?
Right.
Where's my like spontaneous surprise trip? And I think that, again, you're not even thinking about, is that even something I want? Is that even something that like works for me? You're just constantly comparing. And before, you really didn't get that. You didn't get like the behind the scenes of every single couple's highlights of like the best moments that they have together. No one's putting their fights up. No one's putting the like stupid argument that they had before bed on the internet. So you're not seeing what's not working for other people until you see the divorce post, and then you kind of got to go through the back.
That's so true.
The back.
Yeah, it's like
stalking.
it's almost like 25 years ago you spoke to less people,
Right.
but you knew them really deeply.
Yes.
And today you are exposed to more people, but you know them in a really shallow surface way.
Right.
And so if you had 4 friends, you knew who was on the verge of divorce, who was having a tough time, because you all opened up and you were helping each other out with their problems. Whereas today, you're seeing someone who just took that trip for content. Like it wasn't it wasn't even a trip. It was content. And they went away and they got this sponsored trip. And now it's like, oh, well, that husband does spontaneous stuff or whatever it may be.
Right. And then you think there's something lacking in your relationship when there's not. You're only seeing this one side of it, and you don't really know these people that well.
You were talking about messaging there and people asking you, what messages should we write? How much are you hearing about people getting ChatGPT to write their messages back? And how are you both feeling about it?
More and more. It's funny because, again, this goes back to I want to be right. I don't want to do this wrong. So let me go to ChatGPT and it will tell me an answer that I don't have to think about it anymore.
Well, listen, I think that there's some merit in ChatGPT and helping as a tool, like anything else. Like I don't think you should use it, not even read it and send it. But I think it's like we did an episode where someone writes in their breakup text. They're texting someone after 3 dates to say they're not interested. And then we have ChatGPT write the same text. ChatGPT is better.
Not a bad job. Yeah.
It's a little more mature. It's a little is it as personal? Probably not. I think you should edit their thing, but I think if it can help people act like a nicer, better member of society, or at least give them somewhere to start, I'm okay with it.
You're a fan of it for breakups.
I wouldn't want to be told to ask for a divorce with ChatGPT, but I think, if they read the first draft and then someone else edited it, I mean.
Well, the thing we have to admit to is that we've been doing a version of ChatGPT from the minute dating apps started. Listen, when you're texting, you are writing your own script. You are being the person you would like to be. And that's not you on the fly. That's not you on improv or in the moment. How many times have you been in a conversation or an argument and then you went home and you go, I wish I said that. I wish I said this. You never do that about a text. Text, you say exactly how you want to say it, the way you want to say it. The reality is, and our podcast, we always say we want to make you a better buyer. We're not going to fix dating. I get put in the position of speaking for men and it sounds very icky. I'm letting you know exactly what a man is feeling because I'm 10% away from the guy you're dating. So I'm telling you what's going on in his head. It's up to you to take that information and do the best you can and waste less time.
Yeah.
So this goes to the texting and ChatGPT and listen, if you want to blame ChatGPT for your relationship problems, you're f***ed. It's just the truth because right now you're texting with someone who's Googling the movie that you said you loved.
Yeah, or the quote that you said that they didn't fully understand.
Right. They've been doing that since day one.
Yeah.
Send me a movie quote that makes you laugh every time. If you had none off the top of your head, but you thought they were hot, I'll go find a movie quote. That's just how it's going, So all this is to say, ChatGPT or someone Googling what to text you, you got to get in person.
Right. Well,
you got to have a date.
It's like the same advice that we have for the apps. It's like the apps and ChatGPT. They're both tools.
Right.
Should you be exclusively communicating with ChatGPT? Should you be exclusively only dating on the apps? No. Is it something you can use when it makes sense? Yeah.
Right.
So, or at least to help.
How quickly have you realistically seen people move from the apps to an in-person date? How quick do you like it to be and how quick is it realistically?
I hate when someone's trying to game the app. So if someone matches with me and they go, let's skip the small talk and go on a date, I don't want to date that person. That's my... Because I don't want to waste my time out. Yeah. We're on a dating app because that gets you the first few conversations that make you excited for the day.
Yeah.
You're trying to skip that. Right. It's a verifying process. Yeah. But when people say that, I'm like, what's the catch here? This was so easy for you to go out. How much do you value your day? You don't value your day? Yeah. Why would I want to go out with you? But the problem is someone always is going to come in and go, well, I hate pen pals.
Yeah.
But that's not a good answer. That's the answer is nuanced and gray. If you're texting for 6 days before a plan is made, yeah, that's a lot long. That's too long for me.
That's too long for you, right?
For me. But I don't know what someone needs to feel safe. I don't know what someone needs to feel excited. You should feel safe and excited. That's the 2 rules I would give to someone to go on a first date. Do you feel safe? Are you excited?
Yeah. And so however long that takes.
How long does that take? That's not up to me to say.
That person saw you and felt safe and excited in that moment.
Or they wanted to screw me over and steal my identity.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They felt safe and excited, but not you. Yeah.
Can you pay for my oil change?
Right.
We've gotten that.
We've gotten that.
Really?
We gotten messages where, the guy says, I'm so excited to, I had such a great time. I'd love to go out again. And then the woman replies, me too. Would you mind paying for my oil change?
Right.
Oh.
You're going to meet crazies, this is what happens. You put yourself out there. You got to play in traffic. You don't want to get hit. And sometimes you get hit by a weirdo.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
but that's a story. You've lived.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's live to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's a great story to tell.
But dating, the idea of when should you, how should you, we are not here to say. I think that if anyone's trying to tell you there are 4 rules for dating or, you should never this, I think they're trying to sell a book. we did this to make light and have fun about a subject that dating for some people, they're killing it everywhere else. And this is the hardest thing in their life.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And when I first started talking about dating, like as a guy, I didn't realize the gravity of it for some people. For me, it was always fun. And I mean, that should tell every woman out there, like every guy is like, they just think it's fun. They don't think it's the most, like it's as serious as maybe you're coming at it. This isn't every conversation they're having. This isn't podcasts they're listening to. So again, like when I first started doing this, you go, oh, this is like hilarious. Like, oh, let me hear your dating problems. And then you start meeting people and you're like, oh shit, like this is like real stuff.
Yeah.
Like it is, they're doing great in their career, their friends, their family. And then they're like, what's going on here? How is this happening?
Yeah. Jordana, how are you feeling about Jared's dating life?
How am I feeling?
What's my problem?
As his friend? No, maybe not a problem.
Jared, I mean, like a lot of the men out there that we talked about earlier, like has a lot of options. And sometimes I think that's almost like a lot of the issue with today's dating world
Especially
is that,
for men, it seems.
yeah, especially for men who aren't,
successful men.
Successful, high value men.
No, don't.
No, I'm joking, but like I'm not. But
I'd like to be doing better. Please follow me on Instagram. I'd like to be doing better. Yeah.
No, I think people don't want to talk about this because it feels icky and it feels unfair. But I think that women are a lot of the time they're constrained by one, societal norms of that they're more pressured to settle down earlier, and two, biological realities is that the older you are as a woman, the harder it is to have children. And so I think that there is a freedom that men have where they're not constantly thinking about dating against that time frame. And again, it feels like an icky conversation. It feels like something that shouldn't be true, but it is true. So I think that men do have more options, and in a lot of ways, especially if you're like doing well in your career and you're in a city like New York, let's say. And so I think that sometimes you can be a little paralyzed by choice.
Mm-hmm. And men will end things before the next step. Men will go, this is okay, but I don't know if I want to go through the work. Like I'll say men, I'll speak for myself. I have ended things before the next step because I'm like, is this the next place of, like, am I ready for this next phase of life? It's not about the relationship. It's about, do I want to do the work? Do I want the responsibility? And I have a lot of envy and high regard for people in serious relationships. Like that takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of like stress and work that I have gone against. I've said, well, I'm going to put my life into, stand up and comedy and, my work, which is an easy excuse for me.
Yeah.
It's my avoidance of like this next thing of life that first few months of dating, you're all potential. You get past that, you're living in the reality of who you are. And like, I think that's what a lot of men deal with is like, I'd rather be potential than the reality. And deal with the reality.
Is it the reality or is it then commitment?
Commitment is reality. I think it's commitment to like the broader thing. Like to me, when I think of like the next step in a relationship, I'm like, it's everything. It's house, it's family, it's kids. It gets way farther ahead than maybe women think we're thinking.
I hear you on that. Like that resonates with me. It's one of the reasons why we haven't had kids yet was because I was excited to be with my wife to get married.
Right.
But my career took over and then my wife's career took over. And so it's weird how you can have that at different phases.
Right.
So I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But on the children level, where like, I want to have kids for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been together now for 12 years and married for 9. And for me, the focus was I'm getting to build and I'm doing what I love. And I don't want to end up feeling like I'm not paying attention to this young, beautiful child that I brought into the world.
Right.
And I'll do it when I can. And I feel like that's feels like a very masculine trait. And so you're feeling the same. I can, like the way you're talking, I'm like, I can relate to everything you're saying. It's just I'm married. That's the only, I've taken on that commitment. I feel good about that one.
And we're around the same age.
Yeah.
And I think like there's good and bad to everything, as we said before.
Yeah.
Like our parents, like that may have gotten married young. You go, well, I would never do that for me. And they had kids young. And then we kind of were given the ability to like push those things off.
Yeah.
And again, there's positive to that. You get to build your career, but then you get so precious with your life that you're like almost, you become too picky, too choosy, too precious with walking forward. And what a lot of men will do, like women will break up after they've tried again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Men will break up before the next step, and that's why a lot of men have the one that got away. You don't hear from women with the one that got away a lot. You hear from men, oh, I could have been married to her. I could have been married to her. I've said that about many people I've dated. And that's why it's like, it's funny when you see these TikToks that are so angry and so the negativity I talked about in the beginning. It's not as personal as it looks the way they're talking about it, even though it's personal to them. Like I know from the male side, it's never been that someone's not worth it or not enough or not, someone that I could have been with. It was always my own. I was thinking, there's Tony Kornheiser's a writer. I've heard him say this line, the key of me. We all live in the key of me. When you write a story, you write it about yourself. So it's like, I think what a lot of men are going through is the key of me, and it's not as personal to the women that are feeling like, oh, they have so much choice, or they,
Right.
Or I
don't think
wasn't
I'm
enough.
hot
He thought he
enough,
could do
right.
better.
He thought he
Yeah.
could do better. It's all, that is always fraudulent to me.
I've never heard it that well articulated.
I mean,
That's really interesting to hear.
some say I'm a well-articulated person. My mom says that all the time. But no.
No, I mean that.
It's
I don't think I've heard it put that way before, and I can resonate with it so strongly at different ways in my life.
Right. I think, right. It's
It's an ideology that I get.
yeah. And it's for all levels of life. I mean, you talk about kids, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
I think that's just a man's mind is like, yeah, if you talk to me about kids at 30, I would have been so scared.
Right.
Like I would just be like, oh my God, I don't think I could be a dad, right? Like that's how I genuinely felt. Like,
Right.
Whereas now I'm 37, it's like I think about kids a lot.
Right.
And that's just a shift that I've been through
Right.
in my own mind, where at one point, if you asked me, I would have been like, I'd be fine without them. And now it's like it's a part of something that I want. And it's such whether it's age, maturity, biology, finances, I don't know. But there is a sense of that feeling of, it's not really about the other person. I've always known my wife would make an amazing mom. That's like
Of course.
not even the conversation.
Well, we get so many emails that are like, he ended it and I wasn't looking to get married. That's always the response. Women write, it's not like I said I wanted to get married. And it's like, it's really, kind of like demeaning towards the men they're dating, because a lot of women don't think that men have the emotional intelligence to like think that far ahead.
I don't know if it's demeaning. I think women are like, why don't you just give this a chance?
Right.
Why don't we see where it can go? And we don't have to get like
Put pressure on
Yes. Why don't we if a woman who's dating a man for 3 months and he'll break up before they're like in a relationship. And I think there's this frustration of like, I'm not asking you to marry me to commit to forever right now, but why can't you keep dating me or like really fully commit?
I guess it's demeaning to both sides. He's thinking way far ahead.
Right.
Way farther ahead than she would even imagine. And he's also not trusting her to be able to be told that like he's ending it.
Mm.
I'm
That
gonna
she'll
give
be
this-
okay
that
if,
she'll be
if they date for 3 years and then don't get married.
Right.
Yeah.
And I so it goes
We're not
both
giving
ways.
each other enough credit, basically.
Right.
Right.
We're not giving each other enough credit that, oh wait, he's actually thinking 25 years from now.
Right.
And we're not trusting that she's confident enough
To like
to
to handle a break.
to handle a breakup in 5 years.
Again, both sides of that equation I feel bad for. Like if someone got
Right.
dumped after 5 years and never got married, thought they were, I'd be like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
right.
of
But
course.
but women have agency too. And I
Right.
think you see a lot of those stories and you don't get the other side, which is also that like, yeah, if you're dating someone for 5 years and you've been looking to get married and they're not marrying you, you can leave also at any time.
Right.
And that's the credit you're not giving the woman.
Right.
Of that, like, if you're not giving her what she wants, she can leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
It's so interesting, right? Like what you're both doing, which I really appreciate, is it's almost like if we were able to verbalize this stuff to the person that we're talking to,
Right.
Much harder.
It's so much harder, but it would transform everything because you'd actually be able to hear someone's heart. Like you'd actually be able to hear it and go, wow, I didn't realize you were even looking at it from that really thoughtful perspective.
I always have so much joy when a couple says they listen to our podcast together, because I know what you're saying is so true. This is all easy for us to say from the sidelines. It is so easy for us to say.
Yeah.
This is simple. Oh, I can give advice on everyone else's relationship. I know exactly what I should do. When I'm in it, I'm like, I'm a bumbling idiot. But when I hear a couple listens to our podcast together, I'm like, we're talking for them. Like, it's almost easier to listen than it is to like put these into words. And I'm like, man, they must be doing okay. Like, not to give ourselves too much credit, but I don't even think it's
Well, they're
us.
having these conversations.
Right.
And kind of like what we said before, it's like, I do think when women break up with men, they're like, please change, please change, please change. And then they don't change. And then finally they break up with them. And I think a lot of men are maybe more than women afraid to have a lot of these conversations. And so are kind of just like secretly thinking about like if they should leave. And then women always feel like they're blindsided.
That's
Right.
true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Men are thinking about it for 6 months before they do anything.
Yes. And the woman's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and you've done all
Right.
that
We're perfect.
thinking.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
any woman that breaks up with her boyfriend will tell you, and I kept asking him not to stop getting drunk, and I kept asking him to stop doing this and this and this, and he just wouldn't change. And I really wanted it to work. And you just don't really hear that from men
No,
when they're breaking up
definitely.
with
No,
people.
No. It just wasn't working. And no one ever asked me after a breakup what happened.
Yeah.
No one's
That's
ever right. Jordana does. But generally, like my male friends, they're just like high fiving me on the way to a dating app.
Yeah.
You know, like, and if I had to explain what happened, it would just sound like I just gave up.
Yeah.
You know, like, which isn't, you know, something I'm proud of, you
Mm.
know, but it's not something I ever have to really deal with.
So would you say you're not looking for a long-term committed loving relationship?
No, I am. That's the crazy.
Wait, now you're confusing me.
Well,
Jay.
no, I am, but I'm afraid of it being.
What are you afraid about?
If I was to be really honest about it, I'm afraid of making my choices someone else's problem.
Or are you afraid of making the wrong choice?
Right.
Also.
And then you make the wrong, you make the wrong choice with the wrong person.
Right.
But I do think I know my taste enough at this point to know who I get along with. And again, like, I think a lot of guys, I'm not a soulmate guy.
I'm not a soulmate
either. Like, I don't think, I just think you can make it work with a lot of people.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But they all are very similar types,
Mhm.
you know, similar type of personality and thinking and worldview, those types of things. But I do think, you know, I blame stand up and doing comedy, you know, and the career I chose, but that's not a really good reason. But I do think the fear of like, you are someone else has, like, if I fail, I fail on my own. Like, that's really easy for me. Like, I can sit at home and bury myself in it. I give a lot of credit to, like, you're married and you're starting a business or you're doing things and you got kids that you got to like talk to and they go, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, the kids ask what happened. Are you kidding me? I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
What happened with the big deal? You know, we didn't get it. Like, what do you say to a kid? I don't know. It's scary.
And I think you mentioned something a lot that a lot of men feel but maybe don't articulate, is that it is much more like their ability to commit is a lot more tied to how secure they feel financially, how secure they feel in their careers. I think obviously women care about their careers and how they're doing financially, but I think most women will say I can date in any phase of my career trajectory. I don't need to be established in order to get married. I don't need to be established in order to have children. I think men are much more like, I cannot fully go there unless I feel like I could take care of a family.
Right. And if we go back to that high value, douchey conversation, like what makes a guy high value is like career established, safe,
Providing.
you know, like, and doing okay. I think that's why we talk about dating as vulnerably and as honestly.
That's what this is right now. And it feels good. Yeah.
And I think people listening, like when we talk about dating, is like, I like when I hear people just say, oh, good. Like, I'm not sitting here alone.
Yeah.
Dealing with that. But like, no, a long-term relationship, yeah, I'm looking for that. But I'm also like, I feel a little delusional even saying that. I was in Australia. I just did shows in Australia and I went to the Great Barrier Reef. I did like the snorkeling I'm not a snorkeler. I don't know. I was just like, they were like, do you want to go snorkeling at the Great Barrier Reef? And I'm like, how am I going to say no to that? Like, no, I'd like to sit at the hotel and sit on my phone. Like, I can't, I have to do this. This is someone's bucket list item. So I took a boat like an hour away and we got to the reef. And I started snorkeling and the mask kept coming off my face and I was like miserable. Then they give you all this like lube and they say, put it on your face. So now I got all this Vaseline. They give you all the Vaseline and they put it on the face and I finally get the thing on and I start looking at the fish. And I remember thinking like 10 minutes into this, I'm going, is this it? This is the Great Barrier Reef? And then I'm like thinking this, but I'm by myself and I'm like looking at this reef and I'm like, shouldn't I see a shark or some turtle eat something, you know, like and then we got back on the boat and I was just sitting alone on the boat and I'm like, man, I guess this is why people have relationships. Like
someone to go to the Great Barrier Reef
and say how horrible it was. and go, man, that sucked, right? Like you just want to go, oh my God. Like, and I'm sure someone gets a lot of value from seeing the Great Barrier Reef, but like, again, like this is old school shit. I'm not saying, I'm saying anything that Dr. Seuss didn't say, like it's who you spend the time with and who you get to complain about it with. And I think I remember after that trip to Australia, I was like, I think I told you, I was like, I'm not going.
Never going to the Great Barrier Reef alone again.
Right. I just remember being on that boat, just being like, what the hell am I was like, do people like this? I don't know. I think people like that they went with a partner and they were like, that sucked, right?
That's how I felt watching Superman last week. I'm trying to get all my friends to go watch it to just figure out whether I'm mad or not. It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
You hated it.
I hated it. It was so bad. That feeling of I didn't go with my wife. I went with a couple of friends and they hated it too. But then the ratings are through the roof.
Right.
And everyone else, I don't know anyone. So when you go watch it, tell me about it.
I saw it.
What did you think?
I liked it.
We saw it 3D.
I saw it in 3D. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't like 3D. I thought 3D was a waste of money.
I didn't get any of the comedy. I wasn't laughing.
No.
I didn't find the dog cute. Like I didn't get it.
The dog got annoying.
Yeah, I just didn't
thought
get
the
it.
dog got annoying.
I didn't get the film.
Are you a Superman fan?
Yeah, I love Superman.
You do?
But like I love the TV version with
Do you like Smallville?
No, not
Smallville is a pretty good show.
No, not Smallville. The I felt that way. It's interesting. And Jordana, I wanted to ask you that with kind of like the opposite end of what we're talking about with Jared. Like, how long have you been married now?
Almost 4 years.
Okay, yeah, fine. And what have you like? You've been building a business. I mean, the business was fairly established at that point, I imagine. But like, what's that been like for you? Where almost all the things Jared's afraid of are things you've been doing. What's that like in reality? Yeah.
I think in reality, it's like so much less scary than you think it is. I think the hardest part is like, especially for you, is the feeling of like finality and commitment and like, this is it, I'm making a choice. But I think nothing makes you feel like an adult more than like really making a choice.
Yeah.
And I think being married is making that choice every day and saying, I'm going to look at the positive aspects of what's going on here every day. Doesn't mean like constantly being positive or never sharing something that's bothering you. But I think like, sort of what you were saying is like the magic of marriage is not necessarily all the good stuff that you're sharing together, but being able to like go through life and experience all the lows and all the highs. And then you really have like this full intertwined experience with someone and they help you grow. They help you, if they're the right person for you, they're supporting you. And I think that for me, what was unique about meeting my husband as opposed to anyone else I ever dated is I just felt like I felt so safe and so secure that I could build my career and I could go out there and I could like not be hyper focusing on finding the right person because I felt like I had someone who was supportive and who wanted the best for me and that I could be fully myself with and like self-actualize. And I think that you would have that totally too. And of course, someone to make fun of the Barrier Reef with. And that, to make fun, to like also go through the negative.
Barrier Reef, as I call it.
Yeah, or to go through like the negative experiences or something horrible happens to you and you have someone who's seen that and they're also, then when things are good, they can appreciate that with you much more.
Yeah.
It was really cool though, because we started this podcast when Jordana was single and also just started dating her husband. Yeah. So it was funny to like, when in the beginning of this show, like how cool it was to like, it's funny when we first started, like, Jordana asking me questions that are like, so you could tell like, this is kind of about my dating. Like I'm on a third date, like what would you say to someone going on a third date with someone they kind of like and they think is a good guy?
He listened to the podcast at that time.
I think he did. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is the weird, you have a dating podcast and you're like, the weird part is you're more honest on a podcast than you can be with the people in your life. True. Like and that might sound bad, but like, you come on here, we're talking, we're chit-chatting, and that's the beauty of a podcast. You get to like put in a headphone and just sit and be a fly on the wall. Yeah. And there's like
that was a great part of being early dating and having you. I would basically like you could be like his mouthpiece almost for any fights we got into or anything, and you'd explain the side, and I would get it more because you do have like that very unique ability to sort of verbalize what men are thinking or how they're thinking about things that sometimes you just don't come at things the same way. And that's really the source of most conflict in relationships is just having a totally different framework for how you see the world or how you would see a specific instance. And a lot of the times men and women are thinking about things really differently.
Right. And that's kind of been like the frustrating part about like the internet's evolution over the last like 7 years of us doing this podcast is like, there aren't a lot of straight male voices in this space. I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back, but like when I come on this podcast, I'm telling you exactly how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds really icky, as I said before, but like, this is it. Like, I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just telling you. And like, the podcast has been great because, Jordana's never been like, well, that's just you. You're gross. Like, like I am gross, but I am speaking. I'm not 100% away from your boyfriend. I'm 10% away at a max. Most of us are 10% away from each other. So when we talk about stuff like, and you see on the internet, like there's no male voice to get back to the horrific stories you hear about dating from the female side. And it's because a lot of the male side of this isn't really morally great.
Well, it doesn't feel quite as wholesome as the intentions for women on dating apps.
The intentions for women on dating apps is I want to find the love of my life and hold hands when we're buried together dead. And nothing can be better than that. I just like to fuck. Like, how do you that doesn't sound great on the internet, and you will find a million voices shouting you down. I'm here to be casual and just have a fun time. And maybe if I meet someone great, like we have so many people that ask about, and this is like, they'll ask about what men write or people write, what they write as what they're looking for. And it'll be like, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm looking for short-term, but open to long. Before that option even exists, I would always say men are looking for short-term option for long. That's what all men are looking for. The dream of this person waltzing into my life and making me not want anyone else. That's the Disney princess to us. Mm-hmm. So, when we get asked like, oh, they wrote that they're looking for a long-term relationship, but they ended it with me. It's like, yeah, that is bullshit. Stop looking at what people, what they're looking for. The only thing you should trust on a dating app is I only want short-term, because that's them being honest. Every guy on there is open to long-term, but open to short, but hoping for long. And they believe it. So you're not going to win that battle. Yeah. Hey, but you said you had long-term relationship written there. Oh, you're right. I guess we should be together now. That's never going to happen. Yeah. And that doesn't sound great.
No, of course not.
I would make out with a bunch of chicks before I met the love of my life. Yeah. That doesn't sound great, but that's how most men are going about this.
It's really interesting when we think about it, even from my perspective, if we're 10% away.
Yeah.
My perspective has been so transformed, and I hear this from men who are married and have kids, and so who are one step ahead of me in that journey. And even for me, getting married was the best decision I ever made, because it actually gave me more time, energy, and space to do all the things I loved. Because as a young man, all I did was chase women and spend loads of time, money, and energy on finding the right girl. Right. And all of a sudden, I got all that time back. So when you realize how much time
very efficient
you get back.
I have a buddy who's like all of a sudden into baking. And I'm like, when did this happen? He's like, I got a wife. Like, I like to bake. I didn't
it's
even
like,
know.
I'm like a better version of myself. And I remember speaking to like a lot of successful men, and they were all like the best. If you look through history, the most successful and happy successful men, I'm not just talking about financially, just men who are happy and successful, it was because they were committed to one woman, because they had so much time and energy to build, do, be, and be accepted.
I don't doubt that.
No, I'm not preaching to you.
No, but I know you're not. Yeah. Because I've heard you talk about your wife on our podcast, and you can tell like this is a partnership. You guys are aiming for the same thing. You seem on the same page, just the way you talk about your relationship. And when you see that and feel that, you go, yeah, of course, that's the better option than single. But then you sit here and you go, man, I haven't really had that.
And that's the right answer, because you're right. It's not just anyone.
Right.
It's the person that's mutually working on it with you as well. And it's your point too. I could have been with a lot of different people.
Right.
I think I could have married a bunch of other people that I dated, but it wouldn't have worked, because either I would have lost enthusiasm and energy, or they would have.
Yeah.
Whereas the only reason why this one's working is because both people are willing to put in that energy and that work and that time in a way that I don't think I would have had for anyone else. Like, and that's the part that you're waiting for, and that's important.
Yeah.
For sure. So I want to go to the final 5 before we do some segments with you. These questions have to be answered in 1 word to 1 sentence maximum, but I'm going to change it for you guys.
To do that?
Yeah, no,
I'm going to change it for you guys, because I don't want to do that. But we're going to be quick with it. Though.
Okay.
We're going to be quick with it.
Lightning round.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of scenarios. So you've been on a few great dates, but you've you're always the one initiating. At what point does that stop being their style and start being a sign they're not prioritizing you?
As soon as you're turned off by that,
Yeah.
I think,
This is my answer. Try this. If you're in a position, you're always making the plan and you're turned off by it. First of all, establish I'm turned off. I don't like that I keep making the plan. That's okay to admit. It's okay to say you're turned off.
if you don't like making the plan, if you don't mind making the plan, that's also okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Both are okay. But if you want the person you're texting with to make the plan and it would make you feel good, send this text. You ready? Hey, I'm really busy today. Would love to see you again. Make a plan and I'm in.
Nice. I like that.
There's no other answer to that than a plan. If there's other answers, they're not really looking to go out and hopefully you're turned off by that.
Right. Or they're not someone who makes plans and they're not for you.
Right.
Yeah. Well said. I like great answers. That was very succinct, both of you. That was good. All right. You matched on a dating app. You've had a great conversation, but they haven't responded in 2 days. How long do you wait before moving on?
Feeling it is the answer. So like that person felt it. I haven't heard from them in 2 days. Okay. What are you going to do about it? Hey, checking in. Would love to go out. Make a plan and I'm in.
Right.
Make a plan. Positive and direction will get you everything you want in life. And with dating, if you're honest, you will feel dishonesty very quickly. Be positive. Hey, I've loved chit-chatting with you. It's been a couple days. I'm around next week. Make a plan and I'm in.
Make a plan and I'm in. We'll set you free.
It will truly.
That's the one.
It's such simple advice.
Yeah.
But I only give advice that would work on me. What would work on me? If someone I was texting with, but I was just getting the dopamine hit from their text and I didn't want to go out with them, if they were like, hey, make a plan, I'm in, time for me to go. Let me put on my hat. I'll be out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, if make a plan and I'm in doesn't work, you've saved your own time. You've saved your own mental energy even thinking about it because you've thrown the ball in their court and now you can move on.
Right.
Great. How do I navigate jealousy of friends' relationships and milestones when I feel stuck or behind?
Remember that your friends are all liars and they're way more unhappy than you think they are.
No,
They suck. How about that? No, your friends and the jealousy probably comes from a place of you assuming. I think if you went out for lunch with a friend that you'd feel jealous of, you'd feel really different after that lunch. I kind of tend to believe that. I call it that guy mode, FTG mode, where you're like, someone will be like, hey, have you met my friend Tim? And I'm like, FTG right away. And then you meet them and you go, oh, they're a nice person and they're pretty cool. And so I think if you're feeling jealousy towards your friends and their relationships, go for lunch with them. I think that would be like a purposeful move.
I have a slightly different take.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jordana.
I think the feeling of jealousy is really like, that's a secondary emotion for what you're really feeling. And maybe what you're really feeling is like a loneliness thing. And I think it's okay to feel that. I think that tells you that's actually great because it gives you direction. Now you know what you want. So many people have no idea what they want. So I think that's great. I think have lunch with your friends, not to see how miserable they are, or maybe they are, maybe they're miserable, or maybe they have a great relationship and you can say, what was it about this person that made them different? You can get inspired by them. I think you can change, like if we go back to the beginning of the episode, you can change your attitude. You can feel like more excited and kind of get like a tip from them. I think it's okay to feel jealous. People are so afraid to say, I feel jealous. And I don't know why it feels like a very icky emotion. But I think it's okay to feel jealous. Like jealousy is like, I know what I want. I want that. Now I can like really work to figure out how to get it.
All right. Good answers so far. That's all right. This one, this person's not overly impressive to me, but they're loyal and kind. Do I stay or do I go?
I just always think of these things. Would I want that person saying that about me at our wedding? And I wouldn't want to be with that person. I don't want to be with someone who pities me, someone who doesn't think. And again, if you're thinking they're not overly impressive, then you're probably very caught up on what other people think of your partner. And that's probably more of a message to you than it is to how they should be. So maybe you have to go and kind of like work that out. And why are you thinking that way about your partner? And you should, I would want them to end it with me. I'd be like, I don't want to be thought of like a dog. Loyal. That's how you talk about the dog.
Right. I do agree. I think that like I would ask myself, what does overly impressive mean to me? And what is that adding to my life?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, like, again, I think part of dating, especially as you get older, is like figuring out what actually matters. And some people call that settling. And I think other people call that prioritizing what's actually important. So I think I would dig deeper into overly impressive, what that means to me, why I'm so interested in it, and what I think that's going to bring to a partnership.
Yeah, well said. All right, fifth and final question. We ask this to every guest who's ever been on the show, but I'm going to apply it to dating and relationships. If you could create one dating law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Every time you say you're confused about something, exchange the word confused for turned off. So I'm confused they haven't texted me back. I'm turned off that they haven't texted me back.
That's a great answer.
And being turned off doesn't mean it's over. It's something to communicate to the person you're dating. And that's an easy text to send from outside. It's not easy to say on the inside, but to say to someone, hey, I'm a little turned off that you haven't texted me back since our date. And that's all you have to say, because I only give advice that works on me. Anytime a woman has told me they've been turned off by me, it has motivated me.
To impress them. Motivated
me to like do either end it or be better.
Yeah, motivated you to some action.
Make a move.
To action,
Yeah.
make a move. So anytime someone says they're confused about something, I've noticed that that's just their way of not telling us that they're turned off.
Nice.
So take confused, switch it with turned off, and then communicate that.
Great advice. Jordana, finish this off.
I think my mistake I used to make in dating, especially before starting this podcast, is, wanting to be the person that someone likes. And so not stating your own needs in an effort to get the widest reach of people who are interested in you. But what I've learned is that when you express your needs, you save your own time and you find the better match for you sooner, because your needs are your needs. There's no such thing as a wrong need or a right need. It's what works for you. And the sooner you ask or express your need, the sooner you find out if someone's going to meet it, and the more time you save on your own.
Nice stuff. Jordana, Jared, you guys are the best. Great advice, great insight. Anyone who's been listening and watching, make sure you subscribe to You Up if you haven't already. Make sure you cut this into all your clips for TikTok, for Instagram. Tag all three of us. I love seeing the stuff that resonates with you, the stuff that turned you off, the stuff that brought you to life, the things that you're practicing. I want to know who's doing the challenge with Jared. Because
it's helpful, and it'll make you feel you'll feel refreshed very quickly. I will say that.
You could do the challenge in a relationship. You're just I'm being more social.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize.
I like the dinner one. Yeah.
Make a plan with a couple. It really does.
Yeah, it changes it.
It changes things.
Get off your phone. This challenge is get off your phone.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
Get off your phone.
When I'm with someone else, I'm off my phone. But
I love it. Yeah. Jordana, Jared, you're the best. I hope you come back soon.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome.
This
I really hope you'll
amazing.
come back again. We've got lots more to talk about next time, but I would have kept you here for another hour if I could have. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
You're the best, man. We really appreciate it.
This was so great. Thank you so much for having us.
If you love this episode, you're going to love my conversation with Matthew Hussey on how to get over your ex and find true love in your relationships.
People should be compassionate to themselves, but extend that compassion to your future self. Because truly extending your compassion to your future self is doing something that gives him or her a shot at a happy and a peaceful life.